you have to have people that you can trust.
Yep.
People who believe in you.
Yep.
And Jay-Z, said it best. Sometimes less is more.
Right.
There's only 3 of us, but there's plenty of us.
And we're live, cuzzo. Hit him with that intro.
All right, welcome back to the Electors Podcast. As always, we got another episode for you guys. Today, we're here with Quint over here at QT3, as well as Catherine's place next door. So, first off, we want to say thank you, man, for having us.
My pleasure,
obviously.
my pleasure.
Thank you,
And
man.
doing this
Absolutely.
with us, glad you took the time on your day off. Monday's my day off, too, so his day off.
Yeah.
So we made it happen.
I rushed back for this, man. I was at Kentucky Derby when he called me. I was like, we still good for it? I'm like, I'm still, but you know what? We're going to make it work.
Nice,
We're gonna make it
nice.
work.
We appreciate that. Now,
Absolutely.
how was the Kentucky Derby?
Oh, man, it was epic.
Yeah.
It was epic.
Now, is that your first time going or no?
No, I actually been. I lost count of how many times I've
you
actually
went?
been, but
Nice.
it's this one was good.
Nice.
We had a guys trip this time, so a bunch of guys with me that had never been.
Oh, nice.
Got the opportunity to go this time, so it was good, man.
Nice.
It was good.
Nice.
In that event, you got to be like suited and booted, right? Like you
Whoa,
can't go.
I'm gonna show you like the pictures afterwards,
Yeah,
man.
you
You're
got
gonna
that
see.
drip. You got that
Yeah,
drip.
you need to know
Yeah.
I was saucy, extra
Nice.
sauce.
I
Nice.
bet.
Nice.
Yeah, you know what happened though? When we was there, the magazine for the actual derby.
Uh-huh.
They found like us, our crew.
Oh, yeah?
And they was like, oh my, like where did you? And so we had to tell them where. Yeah, we from Chicago. You always throw the big city.
Right.
Right. So we told them that, and they was like, well, where did these jackets? Like, where did you find these suits? And we kind of broke it down for them. But long story short, they did a short interview on us.
Nice.
And took some photos.
Nice.
Our whole names made us spell it out. Some of the guys were reluctant. They're like, man, I don't know, fans watching this.
Right.
I'm not giving out my government name, right?
Yeah.
Right,
So,
right.
no, but they did that, and then they took pictures.
Nice.
And they was like, we're going to put this in. I said, if you don't give us front page, don't post it. So
Oh,
I'm
don't
looking
post
forward to
it.
There you
see
go.
what
There
actually
you go.
came out of that thing,
We're
man.
going to look on the episode of GQ.
Yeah,
man. You're gonna see it.
man.
Yeah,
You're
we
gonna
gotta
see
be
all
front
of that good
page.
stuff we had. It was a good time, though.
That's what's up, man.
We got to
That's
check
what's up.
that out next time.
We do. Well, I've never been to Kentucky.
I've never been
Derby.
one.
I've been to Kentucky, but I've never been to the Derby.
You got to go to the
Yeah.
Derby, bro.
But
You got to go to the
Now,
Derby.
did you bet on the horse that won?
I did, but I didn't win. I
didn't?
didn't.
No?
I bet on the horses, but not.
Not the
I
right
didn't hit,
one.
man.
Not the
I was
one.
way off too this time. Like I thought I had it. We actually thought we had it because we collectively like put a
your
bunch of
brains
money
together.
in it, and but we understood it was a gamble. It was a
Right,
gamble.
right.
It was
It was a
all
gamble.
fun though.
The horse that
Yeah.
won was like 16 to 1 or
Yeah,
something crazy,
man, it
right?
was back. Yeah, he wasn't even like
He wasn't even
top
on the radar.
5.
Oh, my.
Top 5. He wasn't even top 5. So
Dang.
that's always usually how it goes. The number, top 1, 2, 3 never really win, man.
True.
Dang.
They never.
True,
It's
true,
never
true.
the top guns that win most of the time.
True.
Yeah.
That's good to know for the next time.
Yeah, man. Next time we have a guys trip,
Yeah, we
man.
got to go.
Oh, I'm down.
I'm
Yeah.
down to go.
I'm down.
I never been.
It's gonna be a good time,
Yeah,
bro.
it's
will
a
be a
different
good time.
experience for sure.
That
Oh,
would
yeah.
be a good time. All right, Quint. So let's get into it, man. So who is Quint now, and
Oh.
how did QT3 begin? What did it stem from?
Man, that is a loaded question. I think now I am more of a, the cliche of entrepreneur, right? Like we all want to say entrepreneurs, but I just like to think of it more as if it's like dreaming. So most people have dreams, right? And most of the time those dreams are through a lens so wide, like you don't understand how to get to that dream. But once you kind of figure out, like that dream really isn't all that big once you do your homework and you figure out how to get to that dream. It's the steps. And so no dream is really impossible at that point. I just like to think nowadays I'm more of a dreamer,
Nice.
more of an executor.
Nice.
Like execution is key, man.
Yeah, the action.
So
The
just
action, yeah.
executing, man. I'm an executor.
Nice.
No pun intended.
That's it. Yeah. There you go. There you go.
Oh,
So
man.
when did QT3 begin? What year?
Yeah, 2013, man. 2013. So before that, I kind of knew what I didn't know what business I was going into. And again, I was a dreamer at that point, back then. So I knew I wanted to do something. You know how you go to work, you're stuck in a job, you have a good job, but it's like there's just something I'm missing.
Yeah.
Like something I'm missing, and I just always had that void, and I didn't know what it was. But I also knew if I was going to invest in something, for one, I didn't have a lot of money, right? Let's be clear. I had basically zero.
Mm-hmm.
And so I'm like, okay, what can I do that's not going to cost me a lot? And if I don't hit the mark, I ain't going to lose a lot. I'm not going to lose a lot.
Right.
And so I'm like, okay, most of the time when people come up with an idea, fitness, for example, because this is where it all started.
Yeah.
I easily could have went to school and got my certification to be a trainer, but I'm like, okay, everybody does that.
True.
So what separates and sets you apart from everybody else? So I'm like, okay, let me think about this for a second. So I went to USA Athletic Club and Spa. They're closed down now.
Okay, yeah.
But it was like a high-end kind of
Yeah, it was over
gym.
back past Orchard, right?
Yeah,
Okay,
over
I
there.
remember what you were talking about.
Yeah, that was the
I
spot.
I went and applied over there and got a job, but not as a trainer because I wasn't a trainer at that time. What I understood was I needed to learn the business side of it.
There you go.
So I could have easily gone to school and paid all that money to learn what everybody else learned, or I could go work at this gym and let them pay me to learn everything that I needed to learn.
Yeah.
So
Right,
I started
smart.
out cleaning bathrooms, scrubbing toilets, cleaning the saunas. And the guy came to me, the owner, he came to me like a week later. He was like, bruh, we're going to move you out of the toilets, man. We're going to move you out of the toilets. We're going to put you at the front desk. He's like, I think you got something
You got
else
more
in you.
than you got more in the tank.
But unbeknownst to him, he had no idea what my plan was.
Yeah.
I wanted to learn how to clean the toilets because I said one day I'm going to open my own. I need to learn. This is
Everything.
the stuff that the school books is not going to teach you.
Right.
True.
He moved me up from there, front desk. I started there. Maybe 2 weeks went by. I learned everybody that came through there. About 2 weeks went by. He came to me. He was like, man, I'll promote you again. Literally, it was about maybe 2 weeks. He's like, I'm going to promote you again. I'm going to make you a manager of the juice bar. So I moved there. I started managing the juice bar, making up all kind of recipes, like creating the shakes and all the blends, which hence we're going to segue
I was gonna
into
say,
that.
man. I was
Yup.
gonna
That's
say,
how all
yeah.
that
Right
came
next
about.
door.
Yeah.
So I did that for a few months, and he came to me. He was like, man, because I was so good at, like, learning the people because I knew what my mission was. A couple of months went by. He's like, man, I'm going to move you to sales. So I'm like, sales? Okay, we can do sales. So, they give you a base salary, and then you get commission off of every sale you do. So I went to sales. So I'm learning every aspect of this game
Yep. Piece
while
by
they
piece.
pay me.
Yep.
Something
by
that I
piece.
can't learn in those books.
Yep.
Right.
Time went by. So one of the guys there was this Jamaican guy, real cool guy, man. And he was like, man, you should get your certification for training. And I'm like, yeah, I'm going to get it. I'm going to get it. Long story short, I kept applying for this certification for ACE. I don't know if you heard of that. It's ACE. And then it was all the high accredited schools that you
Personal
could
training.
get your personal training
Okay.
from.
Okay.
So every time I went, I'm waiting. As soon as the class started, this happened to me 3 times in a row. They kept refunding my money because nobody was signing up for the class.
Oh, wow.
So ultimately,
You're the only one in there?
Yeah, they needed so many.
So many people to sign up.
in the class
Right.
before the instructor would come. I guess to pay him. I don't know.
Yeah.
So at the end, the last time they did it, I'm like, wait a minute. Like, how is my education determined by how many other people want to learn? Like, I don't understand how that has anything to do. So I gotta wait because the rest of the world ain't ready. Like, this is
Right.
crazy.
Yeah.
Right.
So my buddy, he came to me. He was like, man, what happened to your certification, bro? Like, it's been like 6 months. Like, you haven't got it yet? And I told him my story. He was like, so this is real key. He was like, so what do you want to do? So I said, I didn't want to let him on.
Yeah. Let them know the whole plan.
Exactly.
Yeah.
He's like, so what do you want to work for here? You want to work for another place? Like, you want to open your own thing? And I was like, yeah, I think I kind of want to do my own thing. He was like, well, why do you need that highly accredited freaking certification? I said, you're right. He was like, you want to fire yourself? Or you going to tell yourself you're not hiring yourself because you didn't go to a
Right,
certain
because you
school?
didn't get a piece of paper.
Right.
Yeah.
He was like, I'm going to give you this company. He's like, man, go home, Google them, check them out. You can get your certification in a week. You can do it online.
Oh, there
I'm
you
like,
go.
Okay, let me check it out. I went home, looked it up, boom, plugged in, paid my money, $75. Mind you, the other one was like $2,800.
Dang.
So I'm like, 75?
Yeah,
Man, this
yeah,
can't
this
be
is a
legit,
steal.
right?
Yeah,
This
yeah,
can't
yeah.
be legit.
Yeah,
Right.
this is a pyramid scheme or something, man. What
He
do
was
they
like,
got
bro,
going on?
trust me, it's legitimate. They was out in New York, the blah, blah, blah. I'm like, okay. Week later, I was done. I had my certification.
Nice.
Came back, but I didn't tell anyone. This month, he goes tell everybody like, oh, he's certified. He's got his but. So the owner came to me.
There's always one, man.
So
There's always one.
Always
One of your
one.
boys,
I'm like,
man.
bro,
One of your
why did you
boys.
say that? Because my goal was to never be a trainer there.
Yeah.
Like I wanted to learn everything, but never to become a trainer.
Stepping stone, yeah.
And here's the reason why. I watched all of their trainers, and they give them like a 70-30 cut. Mm-hmm. And I understand the business side of it. But for 30% on it goes to me. The 70 goes to them.
Yeah.
So I'm like, so wait a minute. You telling me you want me to give up being a sales where I get a base salary of $800 regardless if I do anything,
right?
But then I'm killing them on commission because I'm selling everything.
Right.
So you want me to give that up
So go make 30%.
to make 30% and give you 70? Then I still got to create all of these regimens, lie to all these people that I'm going to help you do something that I know I'm not going to do in 12 sessions.
Yeah.
So I just never agreed with their concept. And so me and the owner at this point, he was like, well, I give you these promotions I want you to do. I said, you got a bunch of trainers. He was like, yeah, but they don't sell. I'm like, so
What they got to do with me?
Yeah.
what, exactly. So you want me to give up my money to help you make money because your sales team sucks.
Yeah.
Right.
I said, I ain't no mathematician, but I don't really think that's the
ain't
plan.
adding up, Playboy.
I don't think that's the
This ain't
plan
adding
that
up.
my mama had for me, right? So
Right.
Yeah.
long story short in that, we kept agreeing to disagree, and we parted ways, which was probably the best thing that ever happened to
Blessing
me because
in
at that
disguise.
point, I was already ready for my journey.
Yep.
And so I started out actually about 30 seconds from this space, I was in another space on this same block.
Okay.
And I had like 3 clients at the time, right? And that 3 clients quickly turned into 30 clients.
Oh, wow.
And so on.
Wow.
And so my space was only like 400 square feet. So I didn't really have any equipment. Like I had bands and jump ropes and, maybe a couple dumbbells.
Yeah.
Old school workouts, all body weight.
Yeah.
Yep.
But you know what? I did my best work in that closet, man.
Oh, I bet.
I bet.
Because I'm hungry.
I was
Yep.
going to say, too, you're hungry, you're passionate about it.
Yeah. I'm hungry, so I'm working, and we're getting results, right? We're getting results. And then ultimately, I absolutely grew out of that space and ended up coming to this space.
Nice.
Which I've expanded it like 3-4 times, and we're out of real estate again.
Nice.
Yeah, this is
So-
a nice space too, man.
Thank you, man. Thank you.
Because
thank
I
you,
was
thank
just
you.
telling him I was here some years ago.
Yeah, he shot some
and I
videos
shot
for
some
me.
some of his first promo videos back then.
Yeah.
Small world.
When I first got
Full circle.
full circle. When I first started getting into the camera, I got a better camera now. Got more equipment.
we got
Yeah.
some
And I was
lights.
like, man, it grew from those years that we started to now. So
yeah.
it's nice to see, man.
pretty
It's
cool.
nice
Yeah,
to see.
yeah. It's been a journey. It's been a journey. I wouldn't change it though.
Yeah.
Nah.
It was like, and anybody who's trying to get into this business or any business, it's the freedom, right? We work for the freedom, not necessarily for the money.
You're right.
Even though you have to make money to, still live and run your businesses.
Yeah.
But if you're waking up every day because you're trying to chase that dollar, it's not going to go far,
No.
right? But to build your brand, to build your legacy,
Yeah.
to expand your empire is what you should wake up for. It's
Definitely.
that process. It's that hurt,
Yeah,
that
man.
pain, that defeat,
Yep.
Yeah.
That hunger.
that hunger for more.
That Jordan Game 6.
Jordan
That
game
Jordan Game 6, right?
Yeah.
And that's what keeps you waking up, man, for me. And I think more importantly than that is the people,
Yeah.
right? It's the people because watching their success
Yeah.
Yeah.
ultimately is my success.
Right.
And knowing that I had some stake in changing somebody's life
Yeah.
for the better, and they never forget you for that, man.
Yeah.
That's true.
And that is what ultimately kept me waking up every day and coming in here.
That's what's
because I didn't know what my purpose was or what God had in store for me or why I was doing this.
When did you find that out? What age?
It
did
wasn't.
click?
I was literally maybe 3 to 5 years in, right? And ultimately, you like to think, okay, I'm here because I like to train. Like I love to work out, and I can help other people work out. Ultimately, that was my purpose. I thought
Yeah.
as to why I was in this position, and it wasn't until one day I was doing seminars. I would do seminars at least 3 times a year. And and it was more promotional to get the word out and
Yeah.
help people to understand what it is that I was trying to do and trying to do for the community.
Right.
And one day it was I never forget it. It was we was at Prisco Center and I had this seminar. It was on a Sunday. Bears game was on. I think they was playing Green Bay Packers on.
Oh,
There's
man.
nobody at that seminar, was
Los
there?
Angeles Clippers or something, man. I don't know. They're a football team. I don't know, but and I had like over 100 people show up
Oh, wow. Oh, I thought.
to a seminar to talk about health.
Yeah.
Right on a Sunday where the Bears was playing Green Bay when it was a
Divisional
Right,
matchup.
exactly.
Yeah, no, yeah. That's what I thought. I was thinking nobody was going to show up because it was a
yeah.
Bears Packers game. But
And I had all these people show up, but it was a special show because what I did was the show before that, I had took 3 of my clients. They were new, and so we did a weigh-in right there. We did an assessment in front of all of these people, and we weighed them in. And so they were nervous. They was like, man, I got to show people my weight. I'm like, don't worry about it because what we're going to do after that is going to be, that's going to be
Right.
the amazing part.
That's the magic,
So
yeah.
that was the way for me to let people know what I could do and like how, and they could be the next. And so we went to this event. We came back. I think every girl had lost like 40 to 50 pounds.
Dang.
Yeah, it was crazy.
wow, man. That's,
So we had their before picture on the screen,
Yeah.
right? And then we showed the videos of them working out through the process.
Yeah.
And then for their after shot, we literally walked them out.
Dope.
And so I used to do that at least it was so clutch, right? Because nobody was doing it. I don't
Yeah.
think anybody's still not doing that.
Right,
I
right,
stopped
right.
doing it because a lot of other things happened. But I said that to say, in that event is when I knew it was more than just training.
Gotcha.
Right? Because, and then it was even more than just giving people information. You understand what your gift is. All the while I thought, I was good because people came because I could tell them how to work. But anybody with a half a mind and a certificate from anywhere can teach you how to lift weights.
True.
True.
Right?
Well, and we got YouTube now.
That part.
Yeah.
But don't go to YouTube because they don't always give you what I can give you.
Right. Come
There
to
you
Q. Come to Q.
Come here to QT3.
Yeah, but I said that to say that is when I realized this was more than just working out.
Yeah. No.
People actually listen. And when you can get people to like buy into your concept based on the fact that you keep your integrity about what it is that you do,
Yeah.
and you remain passionate about what you do,
Yeah.
and you're humble about what you do, people can see that.
They gravitate towards
They
that.
see it, and they
For
know
sure.
bullshit from a mile away too.
True.
If it's opposite of that.
Yep. True.
So
True.
that is when I knew I had something more than just workout skills.
Yeah.
That's what's up, man.
Yeah, man.
Oh, that's
Yeah,
what's
man.
What's up? Now, so you, I mean, it sounds like you've been hustling, right? So you got that entrepreneur spirit in you.
Yeah, absolutely.
So when did that start? Like, how were you like 10? Were you 11? Because in our episodes, I used to sell blanks, them CDs,
Yeah.
or whatever I could sell. I was trying
Yeah.
to hustle. So when did it start for you?
I think it started real young, man, like at least 13, right? At least 13,
Yeah.
because if it was just, you kind of know when you have something and people always want to gravitate to that,
Right.
whatever it is, whether you're selling CDs, gym shoes out your trunk, mixtapes,
Yeah.
drugs, whatever it is.
Yep.
You have a certain charisma about yourself. And I tell this story all the time, man. I went to this event one time. This guy, I paid my money. This white guy, rich.
Yeah.
So I'm like, man, I had to been like 23 at the time. I said, I'm going to go. It was in Chicago. I got my money. I paid, go to see this guy. And mind you, my mentality was nowhere near that.
Yeah.
Like,
Okay.
I got a street mentality, but I'm trying
Yeah.
to figure out how this dude made $1 million.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
I need to know that.
You went to go see
Right.
Tony Robbins?
Exactly. Exactly. So this dude, I go there, and after the end of his show, I'm listening, I'm waiting for the punchline, or he's going to give everybody this booklet to show
Yeah.
Right.
because we actually paid for it.
Yeah.
Nothing. I got to the end of the show. He was signing autographs and shaking hands, so I get in line. I go up to him. I'm like, yo, man. I said, I don't know if I fell asleep or I missed it, but I ain't get the instructions, bro. Like, I missed that.
Right.
He just kind of chuckled, right?
Right.
He was like, I give it to you. You just missed it. So I'm like, he's like, and I'm going to tell you. I'm going to give you a couple of pieces of information.
Yeah.
All you need in life to succeed is a passion for what you do and be charismatic. He shook my hand and he walked away. Now, mind you, 23.
Yeah.
I didn't, and this is the craziest thing. I went back. I said, okay, he got me that time.
Yeah.
Right? You know, mind you, I got a street mentality, so I'm thinking in my mind,
Right.
he got one more shot.
Yeah.
But I wasn't going back. I happened to see this dude come again. I paid my money. I went back again about 5 years later. He gave the same system. The system never changed.
Yep.
And then so I'm listening
Same
again.
playbook.
Same playbook.
Yep.
So I'm like, okay. After the show, I go to him, and this dude remembered me.
Oh, did he?
He remembered me, bro.
Oh, wow.
So I was like,
wow.
because I was aggressive. Like, I'm
Yeah.
like, he was like, man, you got something in you, man.
Yeah.
I don't know what
Yeah.
it is you're going to do in life, but you got
Yeah.
something. He
Yeah.
was like, I keep telling you, people are drawn to charisma, the charismatic people who are passionate.
Yeah.
You don't have to sell anything.
Yeah.
It's going to sell itself.
Yeah.
Right.
So I'm thinking to myself, like, okay, it make a little more sense, bruh. I said, but whatever you do, man, I want to learn your system because you tricked me twice and got my money. And you tricking a whole
Tricked
lot of
me
more
twice.
people just like me.
Yeah.
And they keep buying into it. He was
Yeah.
like, that's the charisma.
Yeah.
He's like, but I guarantee you it's not a gimmick. It's not a trick.
Yeah.
And I didn't learn what he meant until years later.
Yep.
Yeah.
And I said to myself, okay, when I was at that seminar is when it hit me.
Yep.
Like 25 years later.
Yeah.
That's when it hit me, like, this is more than just working out.
Yep.
Like, it's charisma
Yeah.
and a passion
Yeah.
for what I did. I didn't wake up to chase the dollar.
Right.
Right.
I woke up to chase that vision.
Right.
And that purpose.
Yeah.
And that's when I realized I had something more greater than just a couple of skills to come in here and tell people to work out, man.
Yep.
Man,
Nah, that's
man,
what's
that's a
up,
great story, man.
That is, and we talk about that too. Like how, I mean, when you're younger, you don't know what you don't know. You don't have enough life experience
Right.
to really understand when someone's dropping a gem on
Right,
you.
right.
You know,
Right.
but years later, it clicks and it makes
clicks.
sense. You're like, damn, man, like. Man, because that reminds me of something similar, man. I went to network marketing. This was when we first
When we were first in it?
Yeah, when we were starting to do network marketing.
Right.
And, you know, you got your guy that brings you in, and then he takes you to your coach per se, right? That
Right,
guy,
right.
you know, kind of probably similar kind of guy that you're talking about that you went to go see. And I'll never forget he said something to me one time. He goes, you know, you could sit here if you want and you know, keep twiddling your thumbs.
Right.
And this is in my earlier 20s, you know. He's
Yeah.
like, or you can go out here and make something happen.
Exactly.
You know? And I'm like, dude, that's why I came here. You know, in my mind, I'm thinking like, that's why I'm here, dude. Like,
Right.
I'm here to make something happen. Like, what are you talking about?
Right.
Give me something. Like,
Yeah,
give me
yeah.
something to go on.
And he just was looking at me like, you still don't get it, do you? You
Yep.
know. But years later, I finally made sense. Like, yeah, it is. You got to put the action in, and you got to have a charismatic personality to be able to sell to people. And
Yeah,
it doesn't matter whether
yeah.
you're selling candy bars or whether you're selling gym regimens or
Right.
whatever it is that you're selling. Like, people wanna, if they're gonna give you their money, they wanna like the person that they're giving their money
Absolutely.
to. You
But
know?
but it's not even just giving you the money, it's the retention in it.
That too.
When you can
Yeah.
get them to give it to you over and over and
Yeah.
over, that is when you know it's like, okay, there's something to this, because I have to convince people to pay me to come in here and put them through torture. Like,
Yeah.
that is
True.
one of the hardest things to do
True.
consistently.
True.
And I've seen many of people since I started who came and tried to do the same
That's the same concept.
same concept, right? And what I learned from Tony, I told you, his system never wavered.
Right. The
It
playbook
was the
was
same
Yeah.
system.
Yeah.
And so I said, when I created it, that's why I call it QT3 Systems.
Got you.
It's the system.
Yeah.
Because people come back 3-4 years later, and I started them off the same way. And they'd be like, man, you're doing the same thing. I said, well, it wasn't the
works.
system that failed you.
failed you.
It was
Yeah.
your choices.
Yeah.
Yep.
Your choices
that's
is
true.
what led you back here.
No, that's
Because
true.
if it was my system, you would have never came back.
True.
The system didn't fail you.
Right.
True.
It was just your choices.
Right. True.
And so we're going to start this from day one all over again, and we're going to get you right
Get
back
you
to the
right
place
back.
you were before
Yep.
you left.
Yep.
Right.
Yep. That's good stuff, man.
You know,
good.
that's interesting that he says that, because remember we just had a podcast with another trainer.
Yeah.
And I asked him, I'm like, if Malcolm showed up and I showed up, are you gonna do the same things for us, or
Right.
would it be different? He's like, well, I might change a few things, but my system stays the same. He's like, I might see you and be like, okay, I gotta make an adjustment,
Yeah.
but the system's the same.
The system is the
So-
same, bro. Right. And there's no one system fits all. Let's be clear about that.
Right.
So he made a point when he said, yeah, my system doesn't change, but for everybody that comes through, we tweak it.
It's
to
just a tweak.
benefit
Fit that
because
person, yeah.
what if you wanted to gain weight and build muscle and you wanted to lose weight?
Right.
And so
True.
that little strategic piece in there has to be adjusted.
But the system's
But the
gonna be-
ultimate
yeah.
system within itself never has to change. You create a system once, you never have to change it. That's the beauty of systems, man.
Right.
Think about McDonald's. Do you think they ever changed their system once
Nope.
they got it?
No.
They tweaked it
Right.
probably 1,000,000 times before they got it to that system.
Yeah.
But
Right.
once this dude somewhere, who knows if
Who
he's
knows, man?
never changes that
Yeah.
system, man.
Oh yeah, yeah, and they got them on every corner now.
Right. And with
Exactly.
that, we'll take a quick break.
Cool.
Check.
Good.
We're on 9. All right, cool. We back from the break. With the story you told us in the beginning of the first part of the segment.
Right.
What advice would you give to your younger self now?
Yeah, go be a professional athlete, man. It's a lot of
Go.
Yeah, I wish I
Right.
would have. I wish I would have went to school, man. But I know, honestly, I you look at it now,
Yeah.
and I wouldn't change it,
Yeah.
right? But looking back,
Yeah.
like this was never like my dream. My ultimate dream was to be a journalist. Like I love to read.
Dang.
It's probably something people don't know a lot about me, and I love
What's
to
your
write.
favorite book?
Ooh.
Or top 3?
So I'm gonna
maybe.
give you a
Yeah.
book, right? It's a so simple read. Like it's
Yeah.
called "Who Moved My Cheese."
Oh, I've heard of that one.
I haven't
Did you
heard of
tell
that
me
one.
about that
No,
one?
I haven't heard of
Somebody
that one.
else told me about that one.
Who moved my cheese? Like it's a real short read.
Yeah.
Dang.
But you have to read it like 50 times because it's gonna give you
There's
something
so much
different
wisdom.
every time
Yeah.
you read it.
Yeah.
And it's so simple because that's what life. We complicate life.
Yeah.
We do.
When you break that down to the least common denominator, like it's really not that complicated. Kind of what I alluded to earlier when I said sometimes when we dream, like that dream is so so large, like we don't understand the dream.
Right.
But then when you think about the dream and you do the work and realize what it takes to get there, what I was looking through from a lens that seemed this huge, now it's like I'm looking through it and it's like this because I get it now.
Yeah, yeah, it makes
And
more
that's,
sense.
That's why I was saying that book was such an excellent read because
Yeah.
it just broke life down so simple. It's like, man, like, and I read it again, and every time I read it, I got something different out of it.
So would you tell like your younger self to maybe not try to rush to get the success, but to be a little more patient and enjoy the journey along the way?
Yeah, definitely enjoying the journey, whatever that process is. But I think, to somebody who, younger generation, and they're trying to figure out what it is in life that they want to do, that changes for most people 1,000 times over.
Yeah, it does.
And so
True.
you can't really
Yeah.
pinpoint where life is going to lead you.
Right.
But I wish that I wouldn't have left so many, pages unturned, right? And I fast forwarded into something that, and it's because of life too, right? Life circumstances plays a part in that.
True.
Victim of circumstances and culture and how you grew up plays a part in your decisions too.
Right.
So
Huge, yeah.
unfortunately, you don't always have the luxury of just following that dream. Like
Right.
for me, I wanted to be a journalist, right? I love to read, I love to write, and I wanted to be the and this is one thing, like I used to watch Channel 9 News, Channel 7 News every night with my mom. And I'd be like, man, I want to be that dude. Like he's on TV every day.
Anchorman.
Anchorman.
Yeah.
He
Yeah.
went out, he got the story, he came back, he wrote it, he got prepared,
Yeah.
and now he's on TV at night. Hi, welcome to Channel 7 News. My name is
Right.
Ken Smith, and I'm going to,
Yeah.
that
Right.
part.
Yeah,
I
yeah,
wanted
yeah.
to do that, and
Yep.
I never got the opportunity. And I think that's one of the reasons why I went back to media school, because I'm like, I never really got an opportunity to become a journalist.
Yeah.
But I want to at least
It's still
have
in
that
you.
experience.
Yeah, it's still
Right.
in you.
So we
Yeah.
got to intern at CBS downtown, and we got
That's
on the
cool.
set, and we felt the stage and so I had that
Nice.
opportunity.
Nice.
And so I would just say, like, if you have the opportunity, never leave nothing unsaid or done, because you never know what sticks. And I know a lot of times circumstances become a problem for you as you're growing up.
Right.
We
True.
don't necessarily have control of that.
Yep.
But if you have that opportunity, don't swindle it.
Yep.
Don't swindle it. Like,
Yep.
take that chance, man, because you never know what may stick, what may not.
Right.
But me personally, I left a lot of things unsaid and a lot of things undone, but I wouldn't change it now. Like
No,
I am
yeah,
who I am
you can't.
today.
Yeah, you
Yeah.
can. Well, with
Yeah.
that being said, like something else that you were able to do with not just QT3, but is Catherine's place.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
And
Absolutely.
where did that? Because you mentioned that you used to work at the smoothie bar at the
Yeah.
gym, right?
Yeah.
So you learned the ins and outs of that side of the business. So did that help spark Catherine's place? And
Yeah.
is Catherine, was that your mom's name, or is that how did the name become Catherine's place?
Yeah. So Catherine's Place was not Catherine's Place initially.
Okay.
Catherine's Place started out, so I had created, and not myself personally, I got introduced to juicing.
Mm-hmm.
And so when I got introduced to juicing and I saw the effects that it had, on that individual,
Mm-hmm.
I said to myself, because that entrepreneur,
Brain is
Starts-
always turning.
starts rolling.
kicks
Yeah.
in.
Yep.
And so I'm like, yo, that did all of that. Like,
Yeah.
so I started doing my homework on
Yeah.
juicing and detoxing and cleansing and fasting. And so just to break that down, I started implementing it to my clients.
Nice.
And they were seeing mad results.
Nice.
And 5 years later, that thing was like crazy.
Nice.
And so my girlfriend at the time, she was the one doing all the juicing. And I was like, yo, we can make some money off of this.
We can make some money.
And so that's how
Yeah.
that thing kind of
Nice.
started. It wasn't my idea to actually open another business. I was actually trying to get out of this one.
Ah.
So to open a new one, I knew the time that you had to put into that. And
Right.
so I didn't want to change my path, if you will.
Yeah.
But, they say one thing, if you want to make God laugh, tell him your dreams.
Tell him, yeah.
Right?
Yeah,
Tell him your
You
dreams.
gonna mix that up real quick.
Right, and so that wasn't his journey. I don't think that was his vision for what he had in store for me, and I'm humbled by it.
Yeah.
I'm really appreciative of everything. If you really knew that story, which would be a whole nother podcast,
Right.
you would really get into the depths of like how this really came to be. But Catherine's Place was not Catherine's Place. It was another name before that. And right before I opened, I changed the name. Like I literally had the LLC license, everything. And at the last minute, I went back and I paid for it all over to change it
Wow.
to Catherine's Place because I felt like I wanted to, because of what that is life.
Yeah.
Like those juices and everything in there is healthy. It's life. And so I'm like, if we want to like make that really what it is, I'm gonna change the name to Catherine's Place because as we consider life, she was my life. Like, and so
Yeah.
I wanted to.
And
make
that's
her-
your mom, right?
Absolutely,
Yeah,
Catherine was my mother. And so that's how we came up with the name Catherine's Place, man.
Yeah,
And
that's what's up.
it's doing well. Actually, a lot more successful than I thought it would be, man.
Yeah.
But it's a lot of work too
Yeah,
at the same
oh, yeah.
time. But
Oh, yeah.
you just have to be ready. You never sleep.
Well, I'm over there almost
Oh,
every other
absolutely.
day, man.
Yeah,
So the
yeah.
juices are on point. The bowls are on point. The guys at the shop, man, they love them.
Yeah, yeah.
Lewis, I think he gets the
Is it the unbeatable?
Yeah, the unbeatable.
Yeah, it is the unbeatable.
That's his go-to drink.
Yeah.
And then I like the OG bowl.
Right.
Add
With banana.
Add
With
banana.
banana.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Add banana. And I tried the coconut bowl too, man. It's delicious.
Cocoa Love?
Yep,
Yeah,
that
yeah.
one's delicious.
Yeah.
I don't know if you've gotten a chance to try
I haven't
any
had
of
a
them,
chance
but
to try it. I
Yeah,
might have,
man.
I'm gonna have
they're
to try
man.
it.
Yeah.
Like really, really
Yeah.
good. You guys got a good thing going over
Appreciate
there. So
that, man.
Congratulations
Appreciate
on
that.
that.
Thank
too,
you,
by
thank
the
you,
way. Yep,
thank you.
yep.
So with all your success, is this something you did by yourself, or if you had somebody around you, how important was that?
Yeah, and so this kind of ties into the last question, right? What would you tell somebody who wanted to do this? Because for so long, when I first opened the gym, you become so enthralled in your work, like you become so attached to this project, and you become so guarded and protective of your work, like it's hard to let people in on that. And so I think for years, and mind you, I did this without any kind of schooling or training when it came to business. One of my mistakes was I just wanted to open a business and have the key and say I have my own thing and I'm in control of that. Mm-hmm. And it was all fun and games until the business side kicked in.
Yep.
Because then you came the taxes, then you came the IRS, then you came like the city, permits, and all of the occupancy permit, like all of these things came into play, and I'm like, I don't know nothing about any of that.
Yep. Right.
And so at that point, it wasn't fun anymore, right? It wasn't fun coming to work no more.
Yep.
Like it took away from my desire to be passionate about why I started this to begin with.
Yep.
So there's two sides of it. There's the side that you're passionate about, but understand you have to be diligent and do your homework on the business side of it. Mm-hmm. But what ended up happening was, while I thought I was so passionate about working out and training people, I became even more passionate about the business side because I understood it. And so now that leveled me to be able to say, okay, now we know this.
Yeah.
Oh man, now we're gonna kick the doors open
changed.
because I'm gonna do. Now I can do anything.
Yep.
And so that part of it is what the advice that I would give to someone else. Piggybacking off of that last question, man, do your homework. And don't be afraid to ask questions.
Yep.
Right? I was so strong on protecting this that I didn't allow myself to have partners or mentors or people who understood what I was doing to come in and like correct me on my mistakes.
And do you think that that's something like for us as men and even black men
Right.
or Hispanic men, our pride and our ego?
Oh, absolutely, 100%.
Can be our friend, and it can also be our enemy.
It's
right?
a double-edged sword, for sure,
Yeah.
and definitely. Because look, there's 100 businesses on this block and through the downtown.
Yep.
Okay, and this is what I want to say about that. We come into work every day, we turn this key, we want to appear like we're winning along with everybody else. Mm-hmm. But after the end of the day, and you close that door and you're looking at those numbers, we ain't winning, bro.
Yeah, and you're looking in the mirror. Yeah.
And there comes that pride where now I really don't want to let nobody in to see that we actually failing because then it's going to look like I'm not winning on the block with everybody else.
Yep.
Right.
And that is really hard because as black men, as minorities, we kind of at the back of the race, man.
Exactly.
We kind of at the back of the race.
Yeah.
But I don't want to use that as a crutch and say I'm always back there. Hey, I'm winning. Like you can't. You doing you. I'm doing me.
Yeah.
Right.
It don't matter which roads we took to get here, but at the same time, we still winning.
And we back.
Yeah, and we've been. So that's but you level up.
Yep.
And until then, you have to, back to the point, you have to have people that you can trust.
Yep.
People who believe in you.
Yep.
And Jay-Z, said it best. Sometimes less is more.
Right.
There's only 3 of us, but there's plenty of us.
Yes, sir.
And so just having that crew of people who, because you're never going to get to that success at that top by yourself.
No.
And I think I wasted a lot of time
trying to
not
do it.
knowing that. And it held me back for a lot of years, man. So
Yeah.
I definitely would recommend and say, man, you can't do it alone.
Yeah. No, I agree with that too. Because if I'm 32 now.
Yeah.
And if I would have taken that advice early.
Yeah, absolutely.
Like just find a coach, find somebody who you can learn from, and tell you what to do and talk to you crazy.
Yeah.
Because if you're messing something up.
Yeah.
I think I would have probably. Done a lot
Be a
more.
billionaire.
Yeah, I probably did. Yeah,
Be a billionaire
maybe.
by now.
But I think I would have had a different type of success.
Yeah, your
if I would've
mindset
chased
would
it.
have
Yeah,
definitely
for
been
sure.
different. You would have had a totally different mindset, and it is hard to find that continuity.
It is, man. It is because not every team is gonna work. We see it all the time in sports, right? Like on paper, a team looks like, man, these guys are supposed to win. Whether it be the Brooklyn Nets, when they had Harden, Kyrie, and Durant, you would think like, man, these guys are gonna win a championship. But no, it doesn't always work.
No,
That's
it
a
doesn't.
perfect example.
It doesn't
too.
always work
Definitely.
that way.
Yeah, the chemistry's got to be right.
Yeah,
For sure.
Yeah.
So what's next for Quint? And I can't figure out what that last part is, Cuzzo. But what's next for Quint?
Wow.
Yeah, I don't know what happened.
I think before I say that,
Yeah.
I just want to really plug, because we talked about the gym and we talked about Catherine's place.
Right.
Now, all of this is inspiration because of Catherine, right?
Right.
And one of the things that I can say that I'm most proud of is having the opportunity to allow, for God to allow her to see me turn that corner.
Yeah.
Right? Because, you know, she worried a lot. You know, like mothers,
They worry,
natural
man.
instinct.
I don't care if you can be, 22 or 52. If she's still alive, she's still worrying about her baby, right?
Yeah,
so
that's true.
I am grateful that she had the opportunity to see, me turn that corner.
Yeah.
Which in turn started this, which in turn that. But before that, we created, because she passed away of breast cancer.
Yeah.
And so I created a not-for-profit for breast cancer survivors.
Nice.
Nice.
It's Catherine J. Thompson Charities, Inc.
Okay.
Nice.
And so we do our big fundraiser every year, every first Saturday in October, and we're coming up on it.
Yeah.
So mind you, we haven't really done it since COVID. And
Okay.
so this will be the 5th year. Actually, this will be the 5th year. And the first year in a long time that we actually put on the whole entire event. And so I would say what's next, like, I don't foresee, and again, this is just me speaking. I don't know. I don't know what the universe has in store, right? But I honestly want to put a lot more stock into that foundation.
Yeah.
The Catherine J. Thompson Charities.
Nice.
And I'm looking forward to this year. So if we're talking short term, if you ask me what's next, because don't ask me long term, because I can honestly say I have no fucking idea
Right.
what's waiting for me down
Yep.
the line of that. But
Yep.
but right now in the short term, man, is to make this project one of the biggest projects that the city has ever held.
Yeah.
That's that they ever had. And again, that's that dream.
Yep.
But I will give you this advice to everybody who's listening and everybody who's watching.
Right.
Keep your shit to yourself.
Yep.
Don't tell anybody your vision, your passion, your dreams, your desire, because here's the thing. Most of the time we tell them to people who have never done or who is never going where we've been. So how can you take advice from somebody like that?
Right.
Yep.
We allow mentors. How are you going to have a mentor who grew up with you doing the same shit?
Yeah.
Right.
And then take advice
Never
from them?
take risks.
Your
never-
vision is
yeah.
your vision. Nobody can see that vision but you.
Right.
And so I honestly have to sometimes allow some of that to breathe, because the people that I'm allowing in as partners, they have to understand some of that. But even then, who's successful will still look at you and say, I don't think that's possible.
Yeah.
Right.
But it's not your vision.
Yeah.
Yep.
Because I'm
Agree with
like
that.
a numbers guy too when it comes
Yeah.
to certain things. I just need to know if it's possible.
Right.
Exactly.
Mathematically,
Exactly.
can you tell me that there is some equation that can
Yep.
get to this point?
Yep.
And
Yep.
if there is,
Yep.
then it's possible.
Right.
Right? And so
Now, do you find, because I when I hear you say that, it reminds me of myself. Now, do you find once you find that slither of space, you're like, oh, I'm in there.
Oh,
Like,
I'm gonna kick the door in.
I'm
Foot-
going in.
foot on the gas.
Because
Foot on the gas.
I find like that's like it's not a problem, but it's like a good problem. To
Yeah,
have. But it's
yeah.
like, all right, I'm like, I got this dream. I'm running through, and I'm like, oh, I got that much
I
room.
got that
I can
much
do
space
it.
to work.
I could do it. And then
I
other
got that
people-
much space to work.
Other people
because
be like, nah, I can't.
yeah, it's like starting out in that building that I had was
Yeah.
like 300 or 400 square feet and training, and somebody was like, yo, man, I don't think that's gonna work. It ain't gonna work. It might not work.
But we're gonna find out.
And that turned into
We gonna
this.
find out.
Right.
So you looking years later, and here we are, and it's like, okay, you can't allow people to dictate
Yep.
what's in front of you.
Right. I agree with that, man. Yeah, because that's
And
what I had.
do you guys find yourself becoming obsessed? Like once you find out there is that much space and you can run with it and you can put your foot on the gas, that all your time and attention and focus ends up going to that?
Yeah, and that's a good point, man.
Yeah.
That is an excellent
Yeah,
point,
it
because obsessed. Like
Yeah.
you ultimately have to be obsessed with any and everything you do when you want to become successful.
Yeah. Yep.
You eat it, you sleep it, you breathe it, you shit it, you wake up, you
Yep.
do it all over again.
Yep.
Like your mind never rests.
Right.
Because everybody's trying to do it.
Yeah.
Right.
So what's going to separate you from everybody else? You have to be, that thing has to be everything to you.
A1. Yeah.
Everything to
No,
you.
it's
And
true.
so, yeah, man, I just want people to understand, like anything, you can do anything in life, man. If you knew my story, ultimately, as we sit here today, you would be like, yo, ain't
You're
no
not
way.
supposed to be here?
Ain't no way.
Well, that's funny that you bring that up because we were talking about an idea about doing mini docs.
Yeah.
So that might have to be one of our first, like
Mini
a mini
doc.
doc, you know,
Mini
like
doc,
just
yeah.
of local people, because obviously the people who are already celebrities, I mean, they already got their stuff.
Exactly,
But there's a lot
exactly.
of good stories here
Yeah.
that just haven't been told.
That's true.
Oh yeah.
So
oh, absolutely,
we
man.
might have
That'd
to,
be dope.
we might have to do
Absolutely.
That would be dope,
And then, but what's great about that is it's going to make sense. Now, hearing this,
that.
Yeah.
and then and out, because you would hear it and it makes sense because we kind of relate to everything.
Right.
We've all been through something.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
But hearing the backstory and fast forward that to now, you're gonna be like, yo, it makes it even more attractive when you kind of see like how, and not just myself, but anyone didn't allow circumstances to
Stop
determine
them.
and
Yeah.
depict who they ultimately become in life, man. And so, hey, I'm just saying, like, if I can do this shit, man.
Anybody can
And
do
I'm
it.
not even super successful, right? I'm just waking up, coming to work every day, and enjoying it, you know, what it is that I'm doing.
Yeah, pursuing
and
a passion
ultimately,
and a
I
purpose.
have my goals in front of me.
Right.
But those are just for me, right?
Right.
And I could give you all kinds of scenarios of what's next.
Yeah.
Right.
Right. But I honestly, we haven't reached them. We haven't
Yeah.
hit those pinnacles.
Do you feel like you're, because we talk about this, in which, you know, when you were younger, well, at least for us, we thought that by our 30s, right?
Yeah.
Like, oh, we would have already
Oh,
been at
absolutely.
the top of the mountain.
Yeah.
Right. But it honestly just feels like we're just now getting started.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
And it sounds like you're in the same space. Even
Yeah,
though you may be
yeah.
a little bit older than us.
Yeah.
The way that
I ain't
you're
that
looking-
much older, brother.
No, I know what you mean, but you know what I mean. You know
This
what
guy.
I mean.
I
know
got
what
you, I
mean,
got
but-
you, I got
But
you.
it's like it's
Yeah.
there's no such thing as, okay, I've gotten to the top of the mountain.
Yeah.
You know? It's like, no, this is just a new journey. This is another mountain that I gotta climb. It's just a part of life.
Yeah, I think it's all individually based too, man. And then, you know, mentality wise, where you are and where you want to go. I mean, for me personally, I don't ever see it slowing down. Like I don't see that momentum losing pace at all. Like
Right.
Nope,
I'm
locked in.
fully throttled.
Yep.
Yeah.
And so I don't think age has anything to do with it. I just think the mentality of where it is that you're trying to go and what it is that you want to accomplish. But most importantly, how much you want to give back.
Right.
Because you could reach that pinnacle and then just disappear. But what good is the truth when you can't give it away?
Right.
What good is going through all of that heartache, trial, tribulation, pain, suffering, defeat, and then come out the other side, and then you know somebody's coming right behind
Right,
you about
right.
to go through that same experience,
Yeah.
Right.
and I'm just gonna like keep that?
Yeah.
Like I'm just gonna let you without
Yeah,
that
watching-
wasn't God's intention for giving you a platform to be able to do what it is that you do.
Right.
You only what makes a great leader is creating even greater leaders.
True.
And so I don't feel like, for me personally, having experienced some success on some levels, to not even be able to take that advice and give it away to somebody who's trying to do the same thing. And so, hey, I'm always open, man. Anybody who wants to sit down with me and have a conversation and try to hear some, you know, advice about how to do whatever it is that they want to do,
Yeah.
and I can help. You know, that's what I'm here for, man.
That's what's up,
That's
man.
what's up.
Where can they find you at? You got Instagram? What do you got?
Yeah, they can find me on my website for the gym, man. It's at QT3bodysystems.com.
Okay.
Instagram, Facebook is the same, Quint Thompson, Quint, last name THOMPSON. Facebook, I'm usually, I'm more prevalent on there. Instagram, I'm not so much. And it's not like I don't use it a lot, but I'm just doing so much, like I don't really have time to sit down and like,
Check everything.
Gotcha.
yeah,
Yeah.
because I did that and my page got hacked one time, bro. You know, I had like 5,000 legitimate followers on Instagram. You know how long it took me hashtagging like,
Yeah.
yo,
Putting in
my
that
page
work.
got hacked. Everything. I still never got that page back.
Oh.
So I'm like, yo, I don't have time to do that no more, man.
Yeah.
So it's a struggle. It's a
Yeah.
struggle. But again, that's why we need teamwork, man.
Yep.
Teamwork
That's
makes
true.
the dream work.
Somebody help to
Yep.
build that platform. But yeah, they can find me there, man, all day.
All right,
Dope.
for sure. And with that, hit them with that outro, cousin.
Hey, man, as always, thank you guys again for watching and listening. Is there one thing you want to leave the folks with, Quint? One last thing?
First Saturday in October.
There you go.
Catherine
There you
J. Thompson Charities Walking for Hope. Yo, that link is about to be out there. We start to post it on social media everywhere. You're going to see flyers, posters, banners, word of mouth. Please, even if you don't make it out to the walk, please get on, register, follow, donate. We want to make this thing one of the biggest things the city's ever seen.
Definitely.
Black minority owned too. The only breast cancer walk in Aurora. So let's everybody take part of that and let's make it count.
Yep. Let's
Sounds
get it.
good. Sounds good. All right, you guys. As always, we'll see you on the next episode. Peace.
Peace.
Peace.